Hi, I'm Chris from Phase 3 Graphics. If you're anything like me, you spend a lot of time thinking about your business, especially now at the start of a new year. You're probably busy setting goals, reviewing the prior year, and thinking about the future. As we enter our 45th year, we are doing the same thing. One thing we find helpful and motivating is listening to podcasts during our downtime. We want to share with you our favorite podcasts so you can focus on growing your business this year. Our first selection is an NPR podcast called How I Built This. It is the longest show on our list, usually an hour long, so I like to binge on it while driving out of town. Each episode is an interview with an entrepreneur who tells their story of starting and growing their companies into successful brands we have all heard of. Every interview is full of inspirational and funny stories that you can probably relate to, along with other tidbits that are helpful to those of us trying to grow a business. Another recommendation is a new podcast called Snacks Daily. Each episode is about 15 minutes long, perfect for me to listen to in the shower every morning. The podcast is a funny, fast-paced recap of 3 business stories hosted by a couple of silly millennials. Snacks Daily is geared towards getting younger people interested in business and investing while not taking itself too seriously. You might think of it as more of an investor's podcast at first, but it made our list because it covers business strategies and trends. If you are trying to reach younger, tech-savvy consumers, Snacks Daily offers insight that may be useful to you. Our third selection is a podcast adopted from a popular business book called Duct Marketing. Each episode is usually about 25 minutes long and is an in-depth focus on one aspect of marketing, like referrals or YouTube marketing or direct mail, although sometimes it also covers other business topics. Duct Marketing is more of a nuts and bolts how-to manual full of useful information to jumpstart your business. It's not a show you want to listen to passively because it requires you to be a little bit more engaged. That's why I like to listen while washing my dishes. Next up is Business Boutique, a podcast that focuses on women and small business. Their slogan is equipping women to make money doing what they love. The podcast is definitely geared towards women, and I am obviously not a woman, but when I do catch this podcast, I learn helpful info that can apply to anyone in business. If you're a woman with a small Etsy store, or launching a startup, or running a large tech company, you will find this podcast inspirational and helpful. Our next podcast isn't really a podcast, it's a TV show. I know it doesn't really fit this list, but we love this show and talk about it here in the office so often that I had to include it on the list. The show is called The Profit, and it airs on CNBC. In each episode, the host, Marcus Lemonis, invests his own money to help turn around a struggling small business. The show doesn't necessarily follow a preset formula like other business reality shows. Each episode is as unique as the businesses he helps, but they all focus on the 3 Ps: people, product, and process. It is very informative and inspirational and highly recommended to anyone trying to grow a business. After listening to these podcasts and talking with our small business customers for over 25 years, I've learned one thing. None of us knew what we were doing when we started a business. Not really. We may have thought we knew what we were doing, but we all had a lot to learn. We've all had those moments of self-doubt when we think, can I really do this? The answer is yes. We all fail, but we also learn along the way. We are building the airplane while we are in the air, and it is tough. But podcasts and YouTube and other resources are here to help us on our path to success. Phase 3 Graphics wants to be a resource to continue to help you grow your business. We will be producing and sharing a whole series of helpful instructional videos. Our next video will be about putting together an effective brochure. I'll see you then.